The hosts feel it would be a little unkind to present this podcast without just a word of friendly warning. We are about to unfold the story of Frankenstein, a man of science who sought to create a man after his own image without reckoning upon God. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. It deals with the two great mysteries of creation, life and death. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now's your chance to. Well, we've warned you.
Hello and welcome once again to the Frankencast. I'm the mad scientist Anthony Bowman. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm joined as always by...
Austin Powers' dad, that is Eric Velasquez. Also, hold on. The runner who is Logan, that is Eric Velasquez. My pronouns are also he, him. Do you think I like Michael York? Maybe I know too much of his catalog.
It's so fun. I mean, I feel like probably most people our age, at least, mostly recognize him from Austin Powers. Mm-hmm. But, like, he's great in this. And, yeah, of course, he's great in a lot of other things that he was doing at the time, like Logan's Run and such. But, like, him being kind of silly in Austin Powers is such a departure from, like, his earlier sort of more serious roles.
Right. Almost overly serious, right?
Yeah. But he's clearly good at both, I have not seen Austin Powers probably since it came out and when I was in high school or whatever. I'm not sure how well it holds up, but he did kind of give this sort of like silly gravitas to it that really kind of made it work.
Right.
I think without him it would have been a lesser movie for sure.
Oh, 100%. No doubt. So, where are we going to start, Anthony? Of course, we're going to start in a boat.
Yeah, all these Island of Dr. Moreau movies, like, when we talk about all the different Frankenstein adaptations, sometimes we're going to start, in the Arctic, sometimes not, who knows. But Dr. Moreau stories, they follow at least the sort of like structure of the book pretty well.
We're going to start on a boat, we're going to end on a boat.
Absolutely, yeah, we gotta. We've got a rowboat on the ocean. Here we start with 3 men aboard. Like one of them has died, and the other 2 throw him overboard.
Makes sense.
I feel like in the book maybe there's implications that there might have been some cannibalism.
Yeah.
I don't think we get that in any of the film adaptations that I remember.
Right. I feel like if they do it again, they have to, right? Like that adds the more animalistic, like nature to the character.
It does kind of feel like we're due for another adaptation of this. Like it seems like every 20 years or so, and especially since the last one, which we'll get to eventually.
We
since
sure will.
So it was so poorly received and is such a weird, unique mess.
But I don't want to talk too early about it. But that one has been getting a big reappraisal recently.
Yeah, we'll get to that before too long. But for now, we'll stay back here in 1977,
right?
Where we have. Michael York, as you said, on a boat with his friend Charlie. And for some reason, it's weird. I feel like Michael York's character here, every adaptation really just wants to change this guy's name. I don't know why. Obviously Dr. Moreau has to stay Dr. Moreau. But even like Montgomery is always Montgomery. But here he is Andrew Braddock. Mm-hmm. He's been... other things, and I think he'll be a third new name, when we get to the next one. But Andrew Braddock. He drags his friend out of the. They get to the shore of the island. He drags his friend into the jungle and kind of like leans him up against a tree so that he can go try to find food and water because his friend's in worse shape than he is. And then while he's gone, we don't get to see the thing. We the angles and everything are kind of hiding what's going on here, but this friend Charlie gets dragged away screaming by something.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's dead already. Great. Important character, by the way. But yes, so obviously when, as you said, Braddock is, as I call him, Brad, he just goes running out in the forest. He sees a creature that's kind of running around there as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like he sees something kind of silhouetted, but it's like it kind of looks like a man, but it's moving a little uncannily. Yeah. And so it's kind of strange because like clearly he's just landed on a deserted island. He needs help. You know, I feel like my first instinct would be like, maybe this is somebody who can help me. I don't know. Right. But I think the uncanny movement is enough that he's like, I got to get the fuck away from that thing. I don't know what's going on. Yep. So he just starts running. And
you know where he lands? A pit trap. I love it. It's almost comedic.
And yeah, it's a great pit trap too, because it's like he falls into it and then we see that there's like a whole big like trap door that like closes back over him that had been like kind of obscured by like leaves and stuff.
But who comes in to save him? It's Mick Garris. I mean Montgomery.
And
tell me that's not what you thought when you saw him.
yeah. And of course when the trap door falls over him, we see that behind that is like a little sort of village compound.
Right.
So clearly this is where Moreau and Montgomery and everyone lives. So that we've got this sort of like thriving village that was hidden from Braddock up to this point.
Right.
But
and as Braddock wakes up, we get to see this version of Maling, which is always like a dog guy, or more or less.
Yeah. So yeah, he wakes up, as you said, rescued by Montgomery in Moreau's house, being sort of cared for. And yeah, Montgomery sends Maling out to let the master know that Andrew's awake.
Yeah, we also get a really cool-ass bird that only shows up in this one scene. It's like a toucan, but like with a longer snout, or a longer beak, I guess. Did you see that as we go?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So when Moreau comes in and like looks at Braddock and his injuries and how he's healing up and everything, he's amazed and he says, "It's incredible how the flesh reasserts itself."
Right. Now this almost seems like a statement of, oh, maybe he's an animal guy, right? Because that's what Moreau has said in the past, and the other doctors who are like Moreau, one doctor. But it's like, yeah, this is what he normally says to the creatures that are becoming more animalistic. But no, not Braddock.
Yeah, in this case, I guess he's just like, you heal so quickly, that maybe this is the same thing that happens to the animals as their bodies heal, from the trauma that Moreau is doing to them and, trying to heal back to their original state. But we're
going to learn this Moreau has some plans. He has plans is what this one has.
Yeah. And, so like right away, here we often have where like, obviously Braddock wants to get back to home. And there's a variety of ways that Moreau tries to like keep him there or say like, oh, a boat will come. Here he's just like, boats don't come through often. You're going to be stuck here a while. You better just get used to it. When a boat comes, sure, we'll send you on your way, but there's no way to reach the mainland. You're just going to have to wait.
Right.
So he's not even getting his hopes up. You're stuck. Deal with it.
We get Maria in her little Victorian dress with her ocelot.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's an ocelot. What an interesting animal to be here.
Well, it's definitely a visual signifier, right? It's like, here's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on this movie. I don't want to spoil it too early, but all the other movies will address this. You bad. I'm waggling my finger at this one. All right. But yeah, so we find out that Maria was also, she was human trafficked. She came from Panama. We got her for a dozen eggs. That's not good.
Yeah, it seems like, she must have had some sort of terrible upbringing in the past. It seems like she was trafficked even then. Was in some sort of forced.
Right.
Whether it was for sex work or forced, just slave labor or whatever. But Moreau was able to give whoever previously owned her in whatever capacity an offer that they were willing to take, and he, took ownership of her.
Right. Frankly, it sounds like a made-up story, but we'll see in the future what it is.
Yeah. At this point, I think there's, we've seen the ocelot. We've heard some animal noises in the jungle. Braddock is like, "What kind of animals are on this island?" And Montgomery is like, "All kinds, lad.
Yeah.
All kinds." Which, I really liked that.
Yeah.
And he also, warns Braddock, like, because of that, don't go into the jungle after dark. Stay in the compound. Stay in the house if you can. Like, just stay in the light. There's a lot of stuff out there. It's best to protect yourself.
Right. You don't want to be there where the creatures are, whatever's out there.
Yeah.
All right. So let's cut to a little bit of a dinner where Moreau is asking about, has any man learned to fly? To which Braddock is like, well, yeah, the people have tried planes. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're getting there. He's like, no. Yeah. Has man learned to fly, like, by himself? Right.
Yeah. And Braddock is definitely like, he's more like, about technology. Like, he's very much like, we're creating new things all the time. Like, men, our minds are our evolutionary, ability. Like, we evolve to the next level by using our minds to make things, to better deal with our environment in different ways. And Moreau is like, no, that's not evolution. Like, that's just toys, like that.
Right.
That's not what I'm doing here.
Point of order. Moreau, what the fuck are you talking about? Because yes, it is. Like,
absolutely.
We worked for that brain, damn it. Mm-hmm. But also, it's just wild. That's, But of course, it was also a guy who, like a normal human who wrote this. So, we're not going to think, our brains are something special. Like, what we don't understand is we're the Terminator of the animal world. The fact that we can take a wound and we're not going to die from it. Or the fact that, like, our hunting style used to be, we're just going to chase it to death. And then tear into it once we get there. Like, and now we're like, we could use spears to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, it 100% is, we mark time in, humanity's timeline by, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, like, this is
Tools
our
are
evolution.
Our superpower, We are the Iron Man / Terminator of the,
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But Moreau's not interested in this kind of conversation, and he's like, well, I'm going to get back to my work that is much more important than that. So he leaves, and Braddock starts grilling Montgomery again. Like, tell me about what's going on here. What's the situation with the animals? What's Moreau's work?
We kind of learned that Monty was and is a mercenary still. So he's more of the gun type than the doctor type.
Yeah, Montgomery is kind of a fluid character, depending on what they're going for. Sometimes he's a doctor, sometimes he's, more of a mercenary.
Sometimes a bit of both.
And in most cases, he's usually an alcoholic, and that is certainly the case here, where he's like, I don't really want to talk about this. That's not why I'm here. I'm just here to keep people safe, and on my downtime, I drink. So if you want to talk to me, you got to drink with me. That's the only way I'm talking, and I'm going back to my room to get drunk.
Right. You can ask Moreau questions. You can come drink with me. You decide what you want to do.
Yeah. And so he leaves, and now it's just Braddock and Maria. And so he tries again. He's like, tell me about the natives on the island. I've seen a couple. Everything seems a little strange here. Mm-hmm. And she's like, every living thing on this island, human, animal, whatever, all of it Moreau brought here.
Right. I thought he brought you too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was a deserted island, and everything that is here because he chooses for it to be here.
Right.
He's like, well, maybe whenever a boat comes and I am able to leave, maybe you can come with me. Maybe I'll take you back to the island.
I literally could not live anywhere else.
Yeah,
Boy, that's a statement to make, right? Mm-hmm. I literally could not live anywhere. Okay, I wonder if that'll pay off. Anyway.
Yeah, so they say goodnight and part ways. Now Braddock is alone, and he starts hearing strange noises again and kind of like is wandering around the house. where he ends up in Moreau's study and finds several books and starts flipping through them, and these are like his his journals or whatever.
Right, but all of a sudden it's being narrated by Dr. Moreau. I mean, like, actually narrated as he's reading it. Moreau's like, yeah. And he basically, what is it? He's effectively, Moreau's been outcast because of his studies. And he's really upset that his whole life's work comes down to 44 words exactly.
Yeah, so it seems like I think the book that Moreau is quoting from that Braddock has picked up is like a sort of like a who's who type book, like this used to be more of a thing where they would just like literally just be a book of important people with who are currently living, not an encyclopedia of historical figures, just people who are doing things, and it's just like little short biographies. And yeah,
you might call it a wiki or Wikipedia. Anyway,
yeah,
kind of.
So yeah, sort of, yeah, because these would have to be updated frequently. People change, but he's like, basically, I've been written off. My biography's not going to change in here. They've decided that I'm no good anymore, basically.
Right. So let's talk about eugenics and how great that is.
Yeah. So yeah, he's in favor of eugenics. He talks about that, we can edit embryos and create better versions of life and everything.
As a matter of fact, here's my collection of embryos. Want to see? That's a great way to start a friendship. Look at my dead babies in jars. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's weird because Braddock has been very curious about all of this, but I think he finds this kind of upsetting and is just like, okay, good night. Like we'll part ways for tonight.
Right.
And the next thing we see is him going out to the beach in the morning, looking at that lifeboat. Like, can I get this thing functioning again? I got to get away.
But as he
I'm not going to wait around.
He busted it up, so the hole's damaged.
Yeah, there's a huge hole in the side of it. So he's kind of looking at like, what can I do about that? And then he sees Maria playing on the beach again with that ocelot.
That sounds like a euphemism. She's playing with her ocelot. All right, anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
But they decide to go playing about it. They like chase off the ocelot. Like the 70s were weird, man. There were just random fits of giggles and chasing.
Yeah, they're just having like a cute little fun time, like frolicking through the jungle, chasing after the ocelot. They kind of lose sight of it, and at some point I think they end up like, they split up to try to like find, corner it or whatever. Braddock bumps into Maling, who is on all fours lapping water out of a stream.
Isn't there a law about that?
Yep. Yeah, of course. Braddock doesn't know this, but he's obviously kind of weirded out. Like, that's not how people drink. Maling sees him and is like, oh no, and he runs away. But then, before he can really like process what he's just seen, Maria bursts out of the jungle with her ocelot.
Hey, but he's found the ocelot's scarf? Or was it her scarf? There was a scarf involved. I don't know who it belongs to.
Yeah, but so they're kind of all happy to be reunited, and they're just smiling, and he's just so kind of enamored with Maria that he's immediately fully forgotten what he just saw.
Right. But he decides to go talk to Montgomery later that evening.
Yep. So as Montgomery said, you gotta drink with me if you want to talk to me. So they share a drink.
Well, he says, "Don't reject my hospitality. I don't extend it too often." That's a pretty baller line. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So so they sit down, and Braddock is like, so earlier today I was in the jungle and I saw Maling drinking, like lapping from a stream like an animal.
A local custom. Don't ask about it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say any more. Maybe Moreau will, but probably not. I think you should just forget you saw that.
Right. Braddock keeps asking like different questions. He's like, local custom. Stop it.
Yeah. And so that, we cut to the next morning. So presumably they have a couple drinks and chat or whatever, and then he goes to bed. But Braddock wakes in the morning hearing like a commotion outside, and he has like a little sort of balcony window.
By the way, 1890s, this guy's wearing boxer shorts from the 1970s.
Yeah. And so, he looks out his window and he sees Moreau and Montgomery driving a cart and in the back is Maling, all chained up.
Well, that's weird. Why would you do that?
Yeah, it seems like he's in trouble for something. Maybe Braddock caused this. Who knows?
Right. But when they let Maling out, he looks bestial. I would almost say like a hedgehog, but that's not what he is in this version.
Yeah, he looks like they do a good job in this with the makeup of like, varying it depending on what's going on. So like, he looks more animalistic than he did earlier. I
will say out of all the adaptations, the creatures, like there's more fluidity between them flowing to human and animal. Like there's a lot of that because like you'll see the same creatures and they're like closer to transformation. I think the only one that stays the same is that George C. Scott as the Lost Heir?
Maybe I'm not sure. That would be an interesting.
Well, I feel like the Lost Heir is always the best actor, like or at least pretty close to the best actor in all of the movies.
Yeah, they do really like get somebody like a big name for that in every version, which is that's no, it's
Richard
Basehart.
Yeah. All I'm saying is he does a really good George C. Scott impression.
Yeah, he definitely. It seems like if you look at his credits, like he is like a narrator in a lot of stuff. Like he's a voice that definitely people are using because of the gravitas that his voice has. I think so. Yeah, we see that like you said, that Maling seems more animalistic, and just like a little later, Moreau comes upstairs to talk to Braddock. He knows Braddock saw all this, and he wants to try to explain it. And he's like, "I'll tell you more later, but just know that we're trying to help him. Like this is an affliction that he's dealing with, and we're doing our best here. Like he's not being punished, he's not being tortured, he's being helped. So if it looks unpleasant or uncomfortable to you, just trust me. Surgery doesn't look great, but it is important and helpful.
What you saw, you didn't really see. Forget it."
Yeah. But Braddock kind of takes that in stride, but he still wants to get the fuck off this island. So the next thing we see is,
get on this fucking boat.
Yep, he's he wisely. This is a pretty smart move that I don't know we've seen this character do before. The boat's not ready to set sail, but he also is a little suspicious of the whole situation. So he pushes the island or the boat a little bit into the water and like walks along the shore with the boat, saving his energy, not having to carry this heavy ass boat. But he drags it into a more jungle part of the beach and shoves it like, where it's like hidden by trees and stuff. So like, he doesn't want anybody else to find this boat and fuck it up even worse.
He watched the last movie. He sees what happens when you leave a boat alone in these things.
Absolutely. Yeah. So while he's doing that, he sees something else in the jungle, another sort of animalistic man. And he's definitely, like, even more so than the beginning, he's getting like aggressive vibes here. So he runs and hides, and as he's kind of like fleeing through the jungle, he eventually comes upon Moreau and Montgomery again on horseback, and he's like, "I've been chased. Something is after me here in the jungle." He's kind of hysterical, like he's fearing for his life here. Like, tell me what's going on. I don't feel safe. I need to know more so that I can protect myself.
Right.
And Moreau's like, "Go back to the compound. You're fine. Just lock yourself in your room.
Yeah,
we're taking care of. Yeah, we're taking care of the problem out here in the jungle. I'll tell you more later."
So Braddock goes home and goes snooping, finds a bunch of animal cages and like a secret lab almost.
Yeah, it's like this whole big room. I mean, we have bears and like wild boars and panthers and tigers, like all kinds. A hyena, and like this is like these are a bunch of real animals that they've managed to procure in the 70s for this scene. It's pretty impressive. It's like a whole zoo. I think there's even like a bull. I don't know. It's a bunch of stuff. But
lions, tigers, bears. Oh my!
Yeah. But yeah, as you said, in the very back of this room, there's like a full surgical lab. And there's
who's in that surgical lab?
Yeah, there's a slab with a creature under a sheet, And at first, it's like its hand is kind of hanging out, and it's sort of humanistic, or like a human-shaped hand, but kind of furry and claw-like at the same time.
I like how he just picks it up with his finger, and then the hand like latches on almost like a baby.
Yeah. So that kind of scares him. He jumps back, and then he's like, "But what could the rest of such a thing look like?" So he pulls the sheet back, sees this very animalistic creature that growls at him, but then kind of like falls unconscious, like it's not in good shape. And
Monty busts in like, "Hey, you're gonna get over that. Everything you just saw, it'll be fine. You'll be good."
Yep. Moreau walks in right behind him, and Braddock's like, "What is going on here? What is that thing? What are all these animals doing? What are you doing here?" And Moreau's like, "Okay, fine. I will show you my work. Like, clearly you're going to keep snooping and you're going to get yourself killed if I don't tell you what's happening."
Right. So he basically tells him, "Hey, I've discovered..." He says cells and atoms, but basically he describes DNA. I discovered DNA like 100 years early.
So here, like, being that this is made in the 70s versus like when the book was written and everything, there's definitely, they have more language for things. So like, it's not just, the book and like the original adaptation, it's like, I took an animal and just chopped it up until it looked like a human.
Right.
But here he's like, it's a combination of surgery, implants of other parts, injections of special serums, and I'm able to evolve these animals into humanoid creatures.
That makes sense. Like,
yeah, this is the most believable version of this. Like, it almost feels possible.
Right.
And Braddock's like, "But why? Why are you doing this?" And he's like, the
"Eugenics, baby! I told you I like that shit."
Yeah, pretty much. And like, if I can do this with animals, what could I maybe do with humans? Maybe we can get us to the next level. Like,
right, we could remove deformities, maybe neurodivergence. I mean, no, yeah. RFK saw this and was like, "That's my plan. That's what I'm going with."
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So then I think we just like cut to like that night. Braddock's alone in his room. Maria comes in.
Not for long, yeah.
Yeah, so we get this sort of like, sort of seduction scene. And, Braddock, as opposed, we've had versions of this where like he has a girlfriend back on the mainland or whatever, but this Braddock is not resisting at all. He's into it. He likes her.
Well, propriety also stops him from committing accidental bestiality. If that's the case, which I'm not saying it is or isn't, that's not what happens here. He fucks Maria.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's consensual. I mean,
Yeah. They're clearly both having a good time here.
Would that be double bestiality? All right, I don't need to ask these questions. Let's keep moving on.
So we have the next day. Braddock, comes outside, and he sees more like animalistic-looking women who are all like washing clothes. And he goes into Moreau's office again and is like, even them? And Moreau's like, yeah, this is everybody you're seeing on the island. These are all animals that I have evolved.
Right. There's only 4 people who've been born as humans on this island.
Yeah. And he's like, so the guy you saw yesterday in my lab, look at him now. He's a bear man.
Right. I guess it's not Maling, right? Because Maling was outside, but they make it seem like this is like. Did they lose track of who Maling was? Because I feel like we did, if they didn't.
Yeah, because at first I did think it was Maling on the slab, but at this point it feels like it's some, because Maling I think is a dog boy,
right?
Whereas this is like a bear person,
guy. Very explicitly.
Because we have this great scene where like he seems like a man with like some slightly animalistic features or whatever, but then he walks into the zoo area where all the cages are, and he comes up to the actual bear,
right?
And like there's some recognition there, like they still have a similar scent or whatever, like
right.
But the man is like he's like seeing like a distant relative, and the bear is also like,
hey, we're cool.
Yeah.
So we get some bear on bear love. No, sorry.
Yeah, he like holds out his hand and the bear licks it, and
Moreau's pissed.
Yeah,
How dare you be friends with animals?
Yeah, he pulls out his whip and starts whipping the man, and he's frustrated. Like, I want you to be a human. I want that bear to not recognize you. I want him to treat you the same way he would treat me if I stuck my hand in there, which is to say, he would attack me. You know?
I want him to rip your fucking arm off. What? Like, dude, we got dogs by being chill. Let's not, piss off the animal people.
Yeah. So yeah, he's very frustrated, and Braddock's like, gets between them, like, don't hurt him.
He's a man.
Yeah, and Moreau's like, go get Montgomery. We're gonna have to do some stuff here. So Braddock goes to get Montgomery, but he doesn't go with him. He's like, Moreau's looking for you in the lab, but he takes a rifle from Montgomery's room and goes into the jungle.
Right. And this is where we learn a man must learn the law.
Yeah. Yeah, he ends up in a cave where he runs into, like, the full sort of, like, tribe of beastmen, and this is where we meet the Sayer of the Law, who recites the law. And here it seems like, we've had versions where, like, the sort of beast society is, like, very regimented and everybody is, like, in on it. Here it feels very tenuous. Like, the Sayer of the Law is, like, reciting the law, and, like, the beastmen are kind of, like, animalistically coming towards Braddock, like, what is this? Do we want to eat this? Do we want to, like, how do we feel about this guy?
Right.
And he, the Sayer of the Law is doing everything he can to, like, yell the law at them, like, stop. And it doesn't look like it's going to hold until Moreau shows up.
Well, even then it doesn't hold because Braddock gets attacked by one of the creatures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Moreau, like, I think he, like, snaps his whip and is like, what is the law? This one
fires a gun in a fucking cave, which is great for everyone's ears, especially animal people.
Right, yeah. And so they start reciting the law then, and he's like, the law has been broken. And he says, whoever it was that stalked this man in the jungle must return to the House of Pain.
No. And everyone's, like, really quiet, but they still snitch on the one creature.
Yeah. Everybody kind of just, like, looks over at, like, like, it's obvious this guy that, is looking more beastly than the rest of us. And so Moreau tells all of the beastmen that this man, Braddock, he has the same authority over you that I do. He is a real man like me, and whatever he says goes. Right.
So great. He's giving him authority over the creatures. That's awesome. Then the Sayer of the Law says, his is the hand that makes. His is the hand that hurts. His is the hand that heals. His is the House of Pain. I fucking love that. I want to cut that into a song, man. Let's do it. Let's.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie style.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they, Moreau and Braddock leave, and again, Braddock is, like, debating with him about the ethics of his work, and just like, I don't think what you're doing is right. I want to leave as soon as I can.
Right.
And Moreau's like, okay, I know I told you that the boat doesn't come often. I should be clear. It probably won't be here for, like, 2 years.
Right. So you better learn to be like me, buddy, and buckle up.
Yeah, you better appreciate your authority here because, it's the only thing that's going to keep you alive.
Right.
And I could use your help in that time.
Right.
So, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to be, ever vigilant against the resurgence of the animal traits coming back in these beastmen. This is the flesh reasserting itself thing.
And he basically says, if one drop of blood gets spilled, that's it. This is all going to boil over. And it's going to go sideways, so we can't let that happen.
Mm-hmm. And so then we see a little later, Moreau shows Braddock his attacker, who has now spent some time in the House of Pain, and comes out looking more human again. As we said, the makeup varying. Like, before, he definitely had a very animal face, but now it's looking pretty human here.
He's like Kurt Russell, with a big bushy beard.
Yeah, and... in Moreau's defense of all the terrible things he does, now that he's more, now that the attacker is human, he is forgiven, and he is allowed to go back to the cave with his tribes people. Like, he's not, his punishment, it's not even a punishment. He's being repaired. He's being fixed in Moreau's eyes, at least. And now that he's fixed, he's free to go. He's not going to be killed or jailed.
The Savior of the Law even says, "Oh, he's a man again. Great, awesome. This is good."
And I think after Moreau and Braddock leave them, the beasts do debate, like, what this law is this our law, or is this Moreau's law? Like, where did this law come from, and why must we follow it?
Well, they even say, like, you said being a man is good. No, being an animal, or it's better as an animal.
Yeah. So we go back to Braddock, who, he's really, like, learning to play all sides here. Like, he's kind of helping Moreau and acting like that, but, when he gets some time away, he's back down with his boat. He's working on patching it up. He's got some, like, planks of wood that he's found somewhere that he's trying to, like, patch the hole.
Right. He tells Maria, I'm going to take you with me to England, our home. No, she's from Panama. That's her home.
Yeah.
Or this is her home.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't know what I would do out there. Like, I think this is where I belong.
Right. This is the only place I can survive, again, stating.
So then we cut to one of the most insane things I have ever seen on film. I have tried to look up, like, how the fuck did they do this?
That tiger's trained as hell, man. Like, yeah, like, that's the only way that guy could have survived what he does. Like, the trainer dressed up in this character's costume and just goes out and plays with the tiger.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, even like, Siegfried and Roy, who had these trained animals, like, once the fight gets going in that tiger blood, it's hard to turn that off. But yeah, so
unless you train the shit out of it.
Yeah, so we have in the jungle a buffalo type man is fighting a real ass tiger. And
is it a buffalo? Because I thought he was like a lion. Like, did he have horns? I didn't see the horns.
Maybe, yeah. I was like the fur around his head. I don't know.
Right.
I can't remember, but like either
they're all vaguely monkey guy. So just keep that in mind.
But yeah, an animalistic, like a man in an animal suit is fighting a for real actual tiger on film here, and it looks intense. Like, it looks heated. I mean, it's frightening. Like, it is an intense scene to watch. And then we kind of cut to various people around the island hearing the commotion and being like, what the fuck? So, like, Montgomery and Moreau run off into the jungle.
Well, they're like, hey, Braddock, take this pistol. And he's like, nah. And they're like, no, you're taking the fucking pistol.
Well, so Braddock and Maria are, like, having sex by the boat.
Yeah.
They run into the jungle, and they bump into, so we have those four kind of connecting, and that's where they're like, you need this pistol. It's important.
Right.
Something bad is happening here.
Now, we see the tiger, quote-unquote, corpse. It might be or it might not be. I can't say. I didn't look that hard. Corpse by the watering hole. So the fucking beast man won.
Yeah. And Moreau is like, you have to team up with us now. Blood has been spilled. Things are getting out of control, and they're going to get worse.
Yep.
So they rush to the cave, where they call the Sayer of the Law. Come out. What is the law?
Right. Not to shed blood. Well, guess what? One of you has broken that law.
And they point to, and as soon as they point out the man who's responsible.
The one who's cut up like he was attacked by a tiger? That guy?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just shoving the other tribesmen out of the way. He's running out into the jungle. We have the beastmen start chasing after him.
Another chasing. This is action packed. All right.
Yeah. So we have Moreau and Montgomery and Braddock on horseback following after them. I think, is Braddock on a horse or is he just running?
Braddock is running. Montgomery's on the horse for sure.
So like one beast man sort of like gets gets Braddock away from everyone else and is like, follow me, I can explain everything, like, you don't need to continue in the direction they're going, just trust me. And Braddock is kind of nervous, but he obviously doesn't trust Moreau and Montgomery either, so he's like, all right, I guess I'll try this. So they end up finding the attacker.
Right. And I feel like the little monkey guy is kind of like, hey, save him. But then the tiger buffalo man, or lion buffalo man, is just like, fucking kill me, please.
Yeah,
Braddock makes the best decision he ever could make.
Yeah, he pulls out a gun and puts him out of his misery. He doesn't want to go back to the House of Pain.
Like, on one hand, I get it, but also, is that really better? Like, they seem kind of fine other than him being, like, just wanting to be free, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think ideally the Beastmen would like to be left alone to become beasts again, to let the flesh reassert itself and not have to be under the thumb of Moreau anymore. But considering that does not seem like a possibility, I think this injured man would rather be gone than go back, continue this cycle of flesh reasserting itself, becoming an animal, going to the House of Pain, sinning again. It's
part of me also wonders if it's not a statement about like basically the working class wanting to be free and the upper class, being the humans, wanting to have their domination over them. Like, or maybe I'm looking into it too deep. I'm just spitballing.
No, I think there's definitely a way to read into it that way.
Right, but I feel also like because they're not human enough, they wouldn't realize, hey, how about you help us get free so we can do what we want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're too stupid is what I'm saying.
But of course, the bad thing for sure about Braddock putting this guy out of his misery is he has just fired a gun, and that's a loud sound. Everybody comes to where he is. All the Beastmen see that Braddock has killed.
Right. So they're like, he broke the law, so he has to go to the House of Pain.
Yeah. Moreau has seen it too, and he's not happy.
Well, yeah, he's like, you fucked everything up for me, bud. Thanks.
Yeah, you've made it worse. And then we cut to like this nighttime funeral where they're carrying the dead beast man on like a sort of stretcher, like a wooden planks or whatever.
Well, it's like a pyre. They're preparing like his Viking funeral, which doesn't make a lot of sense if you think about it. Like, because you're putting something on fire in the middle of the water. Why wouldn't you just put it in the water, because it's going to eventually go out?
Yeah. And like culturally for them, like it doesn't make any sense, but but it looks good for the film, So yeah, they put the light the raft on fire, push it out to sea, and they start. Or then I think we just cut to like a little later. They've now gathered outside Moreau's compound, and they all have torches, and they're growling and like leaning into their animalistic nature, reciting the "His is the hand that hurts" and all this.
Right. It's all because Braddock basically revealed Moreau's hypocrisy. Yeah.
So Moreau comes down to them. And is like, go back to where you belong, and so that they do. They leave, and then we see more. It's kind of like it's a powder keg at this point.
Yeah.
Like everything's very tenuous. We don't know, something's bound to go wrong very soon. So we have Moreau sort of working frantically in his lab at night. Meanwhile, Braddock and Maria are packing. He has convinced her they're going to get out.
As they go out, Moreau's like, hey, how about I give you a shot about this, Brad?
Yep. Takes a hypodermic needle to the neck, and Maria is like, please don't let him suffer. He, just don't hurt him. It kind of seems like maybe she knew this was going to happen, but she was just like humoring Braddock that this is what he needed. But Moreau's like, I can't make any promises at this point. Like, everything's out of hand, and I'm going to have to do just what has to be done.
Right. So Burt Lancaster went Dieter Laser in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have Braddock waking up a little later, strapped to a Frankenstein slab. Mm-hmm. And Moreau's like, I forgive you. I understand you had to try to escape. But now you have to forgive me for what I'm about to do to you.
Right. So guess what? So far, we've tried to turn animals into humans. They can't really tell us how the process feels. You get to go the other way, though. And while you're doing it, you tell me how it feels.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
I want you to bring intel from the other side, basically.
Right. It feels like more like this is him torturing, like he's being sadistic towards Brad for fucking everything up for him. Yeah. Because at one point he literally gaslights him. He's like, no, you're becoming an animal. Like, he tells him, you are feeling hunger for other creatures that you want to eat.
Yeah, the whole, like, the rest of this movie is sort of a battle of wits between Moreau and Braddock.
Yeah.
We have Braddock waking up post-injection and whatever, procedure Moreau has done so far.
Right. Monty comes in and he's trying to stop it. Moreau looks at him and says, you've been drinking for 2 days. I think you should keep that up. Damn, okay.
Yeah, and Braddock, I mean, again, it's very subtle. Like, it's Michael York. He doesn't have, like, an animal snout or anything.
Yeah.
But his hair is a little longer. He does just look a little disheveled.
A little bit more teeth. Or they gave him some fake teeth.
Yeah. And he's, like, screaming in pain. And we see just shots of animals and various beastmen all over the island as if, like, alert. Like, they're hearing this scream and they know something has changed.
Right. But Monty has decided that, hey, fuck this shit. I'm gonna let Braddock out. He needs to be set free.
Mm-hmm. So this is where we have Montgomery is gonna let him out. He goes Montgomery is like yelling at him about this. Basically, like, what are you gonna do this to me?
Yeah.
And Moreau's like, in order to study nature, you got to be as ruthless as nature.
Okay, so the answer is yes, if I have to. Okay, fair enough. So Montgomery's like, yeah, I'm going to let him out and maybe shoot you. We'll see what happens. But Moreau says, not if I shoot you first.
Yep. He just straight up shoots him in the back as he's walking out. Like, he does not care at all.
Right. But unfortunately, the Menimals see this and they're like, oh, he can kill things. So that law must be shit.
Yeah, and humans can die.
Yeah.
So specifically, Moreau drags Montgomery's corpse into the zoo area and locks him in one of the unused cages. But Maling comes in, takes him out, and just carries him into the jungle where, like, they are met by other beastmen who help, and they all just carry this corpse, this proof that men can die, carry him to the cave.
Well, that's not good. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, and as you were saying, while that's going on, we have Moreau trying to gaslight Braddock into believing he's fully an animal. He's like, words are losing meaning to you. You now only deal in extremes. You're an animal.
Right.
And
I feel like that's the clearest, like, form, like, how you understand gaslighting. When people are telling you how you feel, it's like, no, please stop. Don't do that.
Yeah. So we back at the cave, the men are like, if Montgomery is mortal, all men are.
Right.
And
he tells
Moreau
us not to
has
kill,
broken.
but he kills.
Yeah. So so the powder keg is getting, it's getting worse.
It's lit, baby.
And then we see back at the compound, Maria is now kind of just been left alone. She's crying. She knows everything's going wrong and there's nothing she can do. And then
Moreau tries to feed Braddock rats.
Live rats. And Braddock is not into it, obviously. But
He's
Moreau
like, don't
is
these
like,
look tasty? You like to eat rats.
You'll love it. Like, this is what you're getting, and if you're not enough of an animal yet to eat it, you will be soon.
I feel like people would do that. Like, people have done that. That's not an animal thing.
Yeah, if you're hungry enough, certainly.
People have looked at other people's legs and be like, "That looks pretty tasty, buddy."
But here, Braddock he's fighting as hard as he can. He's like, I was born in this town. My parents are named. Like, he is just like, he is trying to hold on to his memories, trying to hold on to his humanity.
Yeah, he's like, well, little brother Billy, he died in a fire, and then my brother Bobby, we like to go out fishing or ice skating, and we got our hands stuck to the sleds, and he trauma cries about it or laugh cries. About it.
Yeah, he's like, because he's like, I was afraid I was going to forget that, but I've still got it. And yeah, he's just crying that he's fighting as hard as he can.
So in a way, he's beaten Moreau.
Mm-hmm. And Moreau is angry. He's, just let go, give in, let it take over. But, as we keep saying, flesh likes to reassert itself. And it seems that the human flesh is as tenacious as the animal flesh.
Yep. And then we hear the manimals gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So Moreau grabs his whip and runs outside. And while he's gone, Maria sneaks in, trying to free Braddock. And she's like, Montgomery is dead. Things are about to go really bad.
Right. And Braddock's like, can you get me the metal thing that opens the thing? Oh, she's like, keys. He's like, yeah, that's the word I forgot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, he's kind of like ashamed. He doesn't want her to look at him as he's become more and more animalistic.
Right. He literally says, please help me in the saddest way possible.
Yeah. Meanwhile, outside, Moreau has gotten to the Beastmen, and he's like, bring Montgomery back. He's mine. He's not for you. Recite the law. What is the law? And they tell him that he who sheds blood must go to the House of Pain. And so they grab him and pull him down. And
he tries to bust out his really cool whip skills. Mm-hmm. So, Moreau knows how to use whips as well. Cool.
Yeah. But there's too many of them. He can't stop them. So they kind of just like swarm him. Meanwhile, we have...
Well, the Sayer of the Law says, oh, we've broken the law. To which all the other animals say, there is no law. Oh, okay, well, there we are.
Yeah, and so there's the Sayer of the Law has literally has blood on his hands as he's saying this.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they have killed Moreau at this point. Like he's not injured, he is dead.
But instead of showing remorse, they're all like, hell yeah, that felt pretty fucking good. Let's do some more of that.
Mm-hmm. So we have Braddock and Maria is trying to escape into the jungle. They bump into all the creatures. Mm-hmm. And Braddock is like, I'm one of you now. Look at me. Look, I'm like you.
Nah, like, you're still man.
Yeah, you're a master. You cause pain. But Braddock does still have the capability to cause pain. He pulls out a gun. He shoots one of the Beastmen.
They're like, oh, shit.
Yep, they scatter back into the jungle. And then Braddock finds that Moreau is not dead. He's pretty close to it, but not quite.
Brings him inside the compound.
Yeah, and with Moreau's last dying breath, he says, "You're an animal."
I mean, he's kind of right though. Like Braddock has more or less become an animal, whether he wanted to or not.
Yeah. So yeah, Moreau dies at that point for real. Braddock screams in agony, gaslighting me with his last breath. Like he just refuses to accept this. So we have him crying, and then we have a little later, there's like a watchtower that's on like the edge of the human compound.
Yeah, it's guard tower basically, right?
Yeah, Braddock climbs up it and yells out into the jungle and to tell the Beastmen, Moreau is not dead. He cannot die.
Right. Look at him, and Maling's like just hoist the body up.
Yeah, this was insane. We've had, I think the book does this, and maybe one of the other adaptations we've talked about, where it's like Moreau, he lives on in all of us. He's become a god. He's ascended past the need of a body. Right. He watches us always, all the time. You must follow the law.
Fear him and obey his law.
Yeah, that kind of tact seems effective. But here, Braddock says all this, and then he just drops Moreau's corpse hanging from a noose over the side of the wall, and the beasts are like, no, that's a dead guy hanging from the noose. Like,
but Braddock uses this to hide himself, Maling, and Maria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like he's not trying to convince them permanently. He's just trying to distract them long enough to get away.
Right. I love how they use the poke it with a stick method, though. The creatures, the animals, they're just like, nah, he's dead. This guy's not moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now we just have the beastmen, like, break down the gate. They swarm the compound.
And just fuck themselves up. I mean, that's pretty much the next 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, they're beasts more than men. They are not smart. They set fire to everything, and then they're running through burning buildings, hurting themselves, and then they go into the zoo area.
The Save the Lost literally says, "Don't open the cages," and that's exactly what they do.
Yeah, he says they are not like us. We are, we are men. We need to try to act like men. Those are animals. But they don't listen, and as soon as they let all the animals out, the animals just start fucking attacking the beastmen. So they're just, we have more of like the tiger versus man we had earlier, but now it's all kinds of different animals. Yep. Again, stuntmen doing some incredible work, or animal trainers, or however it's being done.
Right.
But yeah, this stuff looks incredible. And in the process, Braddock and Maria are able to escape. Maling,
they finally got on that fucking boat.
Yeah, Maling is with them at first, but he ends up falling in a pit trap where a lion has previously fallen. Yeah. So he's dead. He gets fucked up by the lion. But Braddock and Maria do get into a boat. They push out to sea.
But they have a passenger with them.
Yep, one beast man manages to get onto the boat before it gets too far away from shore. And we just get this great fight between Braddock and the Beast Man, where like they knock each other out of the boat, then they're fighting in the water, then one gets back in the boat. I mean, it goes on for a while, and it looks, like they're fighting for everything at this point. Like it is, it's intense.
I feel for that stunt guy who has to wear like makeup and fall in the water. That shit's got to be heavy.
Yeah, and eventually Braddock takes an oar, and he's like beating the beast with it. It breaks, then he finally I think he impales him on it.
In the eye. He stabs him in the eye with the oar.
Yeah. So now, unfortunately, they had 2 oars, now they've got 1. So they're just kind of like drifting out to sea. Obviously, they're not going to be able to row this whole time with just 1 oar. And while they're drifting, they see, off in the distance, the entire island is on fire. The whole compound is burning. We get one more, or we see Moreau's corpse hanging there in silhouette as the house behind it collapses. Just beautiful shots. This movie is just, there's some incredible visuals in it.
Right.
And then we get such a great capper to end everything.
Well, sometime later, it's Braddock and Maria on the boat. Like, his face is human, her face is turned away. Oh no, we're going to see her turn to an animal. Surprise, fuck you. She's just a lady.
But she has, like, feline eyes.
Right, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so I think, it's just, like, we get a split second of it. I think it's enough that, like, you can question, like, what's going on here. Right. But I think... Yeah, I think they maybe should have, like, leaned into it a little harder.
Right. Like, if she was a fucking panther or something on the boat, like, when he woke up, that would have been something, yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been
the
haunting.
implication... Yeah. The implication being that, like, they're fine for now, but things are going to get bad. Like, they're probably stuck on this boat a while.
But they get rescued by a bigger boat, so...
Yeah, they see the boat in the distance, and that's when we see Maria's eyes. So it's like, everything is not like, we get this moment of hope that Braddock is okay. He's a man again. We see the boat, and then it's like, maybe not. Maybe.
See, I missed her eyes. That must have been what it was, because it was like, or it was too subtle for me for some reason.
Yeah, I think it's straight up just contact lenses. Like, they didn't do any kind of, like, pointy ears or fur or teeth or anything.
Nothing else.
Because I was like, as it was building, I was like, she's going to turn and look like a cat.
Right.
She didn't, then I was like, wait, what? And then I backed it up, and then I just,
okay.
yeah. Otherwise, I don't think I would have seen it either. Like
I was just incredibly disappointed by just a lady.
Yeah, but yeah, I think
I've ever said that sentence. Anyway.
Yeah, like, there's been variations of this where, like, it's more, of course, the Maria character is not from the novel, but there's some variation of her in pretty much all of the movies, because I think they realize we need this love story, and we need this sort of really on the fence character that is more human than the other Beastmen. And yeah, I like the way that this movie, they really... They make you think maybe she is a human until the very last second. So yeah, I liked that as sort of like the ending that really kind of like caps everything that, like, what Braddock thought was happening is not what was happening. And
so the female love interest is the Igor. That's the beast is the beauty. No.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a pretty great, like, and an abrupt ending, but like appropriately so. Like it ends at the exact right moment to just leave you like, oh fuck, things are about to go way south. Right.
If you see the contact lenses, or it's going to be like, oh, they just got rescued. Great, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, not bad movie though. Everything else was really good about it.
Yeah, I think compared to, Lost Souls, of course, is, it's a classic, and it, Charles Laughton is great in it and everything, but it's, it's definitely of its time, and not like, there was less that they were able to do with it. This movie really feels like it's, it came out in 1977, and I feel like that was when a lot of the like big name directors that we still talk about today were really kind of coming up in this time. This was when like film sort of had like a big leap forward. This is Star Wars is starting to happen. Francis Ford Coppola is starting to do his thing. We have this whole new generation, and this feels part of that. Like, it's really just seeing what cool stuff you can do with cinema.
Right. And willing to take chances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so there's just, this movie has so many like really, really beautiful moments that just look incredible. Whether it's Moreau hanging as the village is burning, or the fights with the animals and stuff. Like, there's just so many moments that are just like impressive even to our eyes today, which says a lot about. This movie is like 50 years old at this point, basically, and there's stuff that I'm like, how the fuck did they do that?
Yeah.
So just a really impressive movie. I cannot speak highly enough of it. It's really, really great.
Yep, 100%. I don't think we could praise it enough. Like, it doesn't get the recognition I feel like it should. That as we're going to talk about the movie we're going to watch next week, has been getting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Island of Lost Souls, as we said, like that one. It's kind of got this, Charles Laughton classic stuff, Criterion release, blah, blah, blah. Then we have the more recent one that got a lot of attention for being awful. And I think in recent years, people have been like, it's not awful. It had a really, really rocky production. And I think people were just like, and it's weird. It's for sure a weird ass movie.
But it's entertainingly so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I, there's nothing wrong with a movie being weird. I think we had this point around the time that movie came out. I will get into this more next week, but like we had some directors making some really fucking weird movies, and everyone was like, "These suck." And then like now everyone's like, "I don't know, maybe Batman Forever is good. Maybe this movie is good." They're weird. They're guys. They're people really. And I guess it's funny, that's another Val Kilmer movie. But like, it's guys really taking chances, and when you take chances, not everything goes well, not everything is perfect, but you can't say it's boring. It's going to be interesting.
Oh no!
And this movie, I guess we're really chomping at the bit here to get to that next week. So obviously you knew we were going to talk about it next week, so we will get to the Richard
Nick Garrison / Brent. It's
Richard Stanley written / started directing, taken over by John Frankenheimer,
right,
etc.
Marlon Brando mess, Val Kilmer mess.
Yes, we'll get into it. I'm excited. It's going to be great to revisit it. It's such a weird, crazy movie.
Get ready for 3-hour-long podcast, folks. It's gonna be a thing.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have a lot to say. So yeah, we'll obviously we'll get to that next week. And I think that's all we got to say about this week. We're clearly just ready to roll right into the next one. So yeah, join us next week for that.
All right, where can they find us, Anthony?
So you can find us on all the socials at The Frankencast. You can email us at thefrankencast@gmail.com. We're also over on YouTube. And of course, you can find us at patreon.com/thefrankencast, where we're always doing new stuff. There's, we're still in the middle of the Munsters. We're doing book club things. We're talking about comic books, various
going in all kinds
show.
of different directions.
Yeah, I've been doing this weird audiobook series thing on my own that I think is kind of fun. There's a lot over there. You should definitely check it out. And of course, that's a good place to find any kind of news. I guess so. We record a little bit ahead of time. This episode, by the time it comes out, I guess okay. I'm going to do a little bit of an announcement thing here.
Let's do it.
So, for the past year and a half or so, I've been working on a book. And I've kind of hinted about it, but I wasn't really sure how much I could reveal. But I have word that the publisher is going to be announcing something in the middle of July, which should be around when this episode comes out. And I believe they're going to be doing like a Kickstarter thing where they're going to have a slate of 5 books, including mine, that they're going to be publishing over the next year or so.
Well, there's a very special subject matter about this other than Frankenstein, but what particularly?
Yeah, so this company is called Die Books. They publish books about single films. They've got 6 out currently. I've talked about their Wolfman one a bunch on some podcast episodes and also on social media because I really, really liked it. The other ones are also great, but that one just really, really hit me. And they reached out and asked me if I wanted to write about a Frankenstein movie, and I chose Bride of Frankenstein, the James Whale film. So I'm still in the editing process. It's fully written. We're just we're fine tuning it and stuff.
Yep.
But as I know more about timelines and stuff, obviously I will let y'all know. Keep an eye on social media for stuff as I am able to make official announcements. But yeah, it's coming soon, and I'm really excited to share it with you all.
Absolutely.
Okay, so future Anthony cutting in here, or I guess present Anthony. So past Anthony nailed it. So we record a few weeks out usually, and I just guessed that this might be around the time that the announcement would come. And sure enough, today, July 10th, the day that this episode actually comes out, Die Books has announced and launched the Kickstarter. If you go to the show notes, you can find a link to the Kickstarter campaign. I am joined by 4 other authors writing books about the Amityville Horror, Paranormal Activity, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and Necromantic 2. So I'm super excited to be in this prestigious group. I think all these books sound amazing. But if you look in the show notes, or if you just go to Kickstarter.com and search Die, D-I-E space D-I-E, you'll find it. And you can pre-order any combination of, one of the books, all 5 of the books. You can even do an add-on where you can get some of their previous books that have already been out. There's ebook options, physical media options. It's all there, whatever you're into. We'd love to have, it's a Kickstarter campaign, but it's more a pre-order process to kind of get commitment from people that they want these books. So, as authors always say, pre-orders help. So please go over there if you're interested. Pre-order it. It's going to be the same price that it'll be later. I know sometimes Kickstarters, they expect these exorbitant amounts to be a backer or whatever. That's not this. This is pretty much just straight up a pre-order. So yes, I'd love to see you all support this. We're a couple hours into the campaign, and it looks like we're about a fifth of the way through the goal. But of course, I think we're looking for stretch goals and all that. We'll get to that. This is just day one. But anyway, please support if you can. It would mean so much to me. I've worked so hard in the past year to make this book. And I could not have done that without your all support and the attention that this podcast has gotten me. So I thank you all so much for that. And I really, really hope you love this book because it's been a lot of fun making it. I've really poured a lot of myself into it, and I just can't wait to share it with you all.
All right. Well, aside from that announcement, is there anything else we got?
I think that's it.
Wonderful. Well, to be continued.
Looks like you've survived another episode. The Frankencast is a production of FCR Media. It's hosted by Anthony Bowman and Eric Velasquez. Follow us on Twitter at The Frankencast, or send us a letter at thefrankencast@gmail.com. Our cover art is by Amanda Keller. You can find her at Keller Illustrations on Instagram. Our theme music is by Vivek Abhishek. Thanks for listening.